This video will change your life. It will give you back hours of your time and also make sure that you are only doing things that you actually need to do, channeling your focus into the right things every time. I am going to teach you how to use a prioritization matrix that has enabled me to save over 5 hours every week and also work on things that I actually want to that make a difference to my quality of life and to my level of revenue for my business. I'm Gina. I have spent the last 20 years building startups, and I built this channel so I could teach you everything about building your own brand, about turning your idea, your passion, or your skill into income for yourself, using not only my knowledge, but also all the tools and technology that we now have at our disposal that makes it easier, faster, and cheaper than ever to make your own money. This matrix is how I know that I am focusing on things that I need to be focusing on. But I didn't invent it. It's actually credited to Eisenhower. Dwight Eisenhower was apparently really well known for how efficient and productive he was. And he's actually been quoted as saying, "I have two kinds of problems, the urgent and the important. The urgent are not important, and the important are never urgent." And I don't know if he had Notion back when he was around, or if he just used this saying and it was built afterwards. But this prioritization matrix is often attributed to him, and you'll sometimes hear it called the Eisenhower matrix. I have called it the Eisenhower matrix in the free template that I have made for you that is on my site for you to grab for free. It will change your life, and I will show you how to use it. So the prioritization, or the Eisenhower matrix, is really simple. It is just a matrix that splits your to-dos and your tasks into levels of importance. It is split into 4 different quadrants, and each quadrant is approached differently. The first quadrant is your urgent and important. These are your do it now tasks. They require your attention and they need to be done in a timely manner. These are your upcoming deadlines, your emergencies, your critical issues. These are genuinely urgent and important. So this quadrant, do it now. The next quadrant is important but not urgent. Especially in the world of startups, in the world of building something for ourselves, a lot of things feel urgent. They feel that they need to be addressed. But very few things are actually, stop what you're doing, urgent. This quadrant enables us to actually stop that noise and see what is urgent and what is just important. Now, they are still very important, so this list of tasks are things that you are going to schedule. One of the best ways to build your own brand and to make your own revenue is to be in charge of your time. And so this matrix is what I use every Sunday to go through and see what I need to schedule in. And I actually add it into my calendar with time blocking, which I've done a whole video on, which means that I do not have to think about that task again. It's come in, it's in my quadrant, it's getting scheduled, less time in my head thinking about it, more time to focus on what I need to focus on. So this is your scheduled quadrant. The next quadrant we have is urgent but not important. Now, this is the quadrant that traditionally gets delegated. In this quadrant, I have a lot of things like emails, interruptions, small things that are tasks that you have to get done because they're the next step in a task, but that are actually not important to my long-term goals or my business or myself. If you are a founder, if you have a team, this is where you delegate. If, like me, you are building something alone, this is where you automate. And I've done a video on the top automations I use to save myself 10 hours a week. And trust me, AI can take away 90% of your delegation tasks. Remember, this is also things that are urgent but not important. So if there is a time sensitivity, but they don't contribute to your overall long-term goals and they don't materially change your business, they're not actually important. If they can't be delegated and can't be automated, you'll be surprised how many just fall off, don't need any of your attention, and nothing changes. And that leads us on to our 4th quadrant. Neither urgent nor important. This is your quadrant you completely forget about. Unimportant tasks, silly little tasks, time-wasting things, changing something that doesn't need changing. We often find ourselves writing out a list of tasks just to feel good about writing them down and ticking them off. This eliminates that. There are a lot of things that we spend our time doing that don't move the needle. Being able to differentiate between urgent and not urgent, and important and not important, will change the way you manage your time and change how successful you are in anything you do in life. By using this matrix and writing down everything that you want to or feel you need to do and actually allocating it, means you only focus on things that you have to do. You have your things to do now, you schedule your things in, you delegate or automate, and you forget. And a lot of people approach this thinking, but if it's a to-do, I will have to do it, there's no way I can forget it. And then when they actually go through the process of thinking of urgent versus not and important versus not, there is a lot of stuff they do not need to do. If you want to make your own money, if you want to drive yourself forward in any goal in life, grab this free matrix and use it once a week for all of your tasks and make sure that you are actually only working on things that are important. If you want to go a layer deeper, I have an incredible automation setup that takes everything from my email and brings it into my Notion template, so I don't even have to spend that time reading my emails. I just need to go through and prioritize myself. This matrix is a very visual way of seeing what needs your attention first and what doesn't need your attention at all. So go to my website, grab this matrix, let me know how you get on, and let me know how many things you actually manage to just completely take off your list. It'll be way more than you think. If you want to use your free time, your limited time, and your limited budget to build your own business or take your idea to actual income, like, subscribe, and let me know what else you want to learn from 20 years of experience and tons of new technology that we now need to take advantage of.